My child, stop scrolling right now because what I am about to tell you is already happening while you listen to these words. There is movement around your house in the spiritual realm, and you are not imagining the sudden feeling in your heart. I have held something in my hands for a very long time, and tonight I am finally releasing it toward you. The waiting season that drained your strength, stole your sleep, and tested your faith is ending this very minute. You cried in secret, wondering why nothing changed, wondering why heaven felt silent. But I was never silent. I was sealing your blessing away from the wrong hands, protecting it from the wrong timing, and preparing a moment so powerful that no enemy would be able to stop it once it began. My beloved child, surprising news is heading toward your house right now. Before this message is over, something inside your spirit will begin to awaken again. Hope will return where exhaustion once lived. Peace will enter the rooms where anxiety has been sitting for months. I know the nights you stared at the ceiling asking me, Lord, when will it finally happen for me? And now I answer you directly. The delay is broken. What I release now will not return empty. It will reach your house. It will shake your atmosphere. It will change conversations inside your family. It will touch your finances, your emotions, your relationships, and the deepest wounds you have hidden from everyone else. Do not skip these words, because this message is not random. I brought you here on purpose. There are people who will ignore this moment and continue carrying fear, but you were chosen to hear this warning and this promise before the shift fully arrives. The enemy wanted you distracted today because he knew what heaven was preparing to send into your life. He tried to exhaust your mind, frustrate your spirit, and convince you that nothing would ever change. But he failed. You are still here listening. You are still breathing. You are still believing even after everything you survived. And because you refuse to completely let go of me, I am about to place something in your hands that will remind you that I always keep my promises. My precious child, there is a reason your spirit has felt restless lately. There is a reason you have felt emotional without fully understanding why. There is a reason old burdens suddenly feel lighter and certain doors around you are beginning to shift. It is because heaven has already started moving. I need you to listen closely now because what I am saying next will change the way you see this entire season of your life. The pain was never proof that I abandoned you. The silence was never proof that I forgot you. I was working behind closed doors while you were praying in tears. I was arranging things you could not yet see. I was protecting opportunities that would have been destroyed if they arrived too early. I was keeping your blessing hidden until the exact moment your spirit was ready to receive it without fear. My beloved, I saw every moment you almost gave up. I watched you smile in front of people while secretly feeling broken inside. I saw the disappointment you carried after prayers seemed unanswered. I heard the silent cries you never spoke aloud because you were tired of explaining your pain to people who could not understand your battle. But I understood it all. I stood beside you in every lonely moment. I stayed near you when your heart was overwhelmed. I protected your mind when anxiety tried to consume you completely. There were nights the enemy wanted your thoughts to destroy you, but my hand covered you even when you did not realize it. There were attacks you never saw because I blocked them before they reached your life. There were betrayals being planned against you that I quietly stopped. There were moments where your entire future could have changed for the worse, but my mercy stood between you and destruction. Now listen carefully, because this next season will not look like the last one. The chapter of endless waiting is closing. The chapter of wondering if you will survive is ending. I am about to release evidence of my goodness into your life in a way that will leave you speechless. The people who watched you struggle will suddenly witness me lifting you. The doors that remained shut for years will begin opening one after another. What felt impossible will begin moving quickly. And when it happens, you must remember these words: it was not luck. It was not coincidence. It was me. My child, your house is about to feel different. The heaviness that has lived there is breaking. The tension, the fear, the emotional exhaustion, the sadness that silently followed you from room to room. I am removing it. My peace is entering your home. My restoration is entering your family. There are conversations that are about to happen that will surprise you. There are phone calls, messages, opportunities, and unexpected breakthroughs already traveling toward you. Even now, while you are listening, I am moving pieces together that you cannot yet understand. I am touching hearts. I am opening doors. I am changing situations that looked completely hopeless only days ago. Do not let fear talk you out of believing me now. I know disappointment made you cautious. I know delay made you tired. I know you became afraid to hope too much because you did not want your heart broken again. But this time is different. This release has my hand on it completely. No person can block what I have decided to release into your life now. No enemy can curse what I have blessed. No delay can continue when I have already spoken the command for movement to begin. I need you to prepare your heart because what is coming will require faith. You prayed for change, but when change arrives suddenly, many become afraid. Do not shrink back when the doors begin opening. Do not doubt me when opportunities appear unexpectedly. Do not question your worth when blessings finally arrive after such a long battle. I would not bring you this far only to abandon you at the edge of breakthrough. I brought you here because I already decided that this waiting season would end in victory. Say amen. Peace reigns over my family if you're inviting God's calm to your home. My beloved child, this is only the beginning of what I am about to reveal to you. What is heading toward your house right now carries restoration, healing, provision, and confirmation. The tears you cried were not wasted. The years you thought were lost are not beyond redemption. I am the God who restores what pain tried to steal. I am the God who speaks life into dead places. I am the God who can change an entire atmosphere in one moment. And tonight, I need you to believe again because your miracle is no longer far away. It is already moving. My beloved child, I need you to understand something that your pain has been trying to hide from you for a very long time. The season you just walked through was never punishment. It was never proof that I abandoned you. It was never evidence that your prayers were ignored. You thought I was silent because nothing around you seemed to change, but heaven was moving in ways your human eyes could not yet understand. Every tear you cried, every restless night you endured, every lonely moment where you asked me why life felt so heavy, I saw all of it. I was there beside you even when your emotions convinced you that I had disappeared. I never left your side for 1 second. There were nights when you sat in silence wondering why other people seemed to move forward, while you remained stuck in the same painful place. You watched doors open for others while your own prayers felt delayed. You smiled in front of people while secretly asking me, "Lord, when will it finally be my turn, my child?" I heard those words every single time. I heard the cries you whispered into your pillow. I heard the frustration in your spirit when disappointment kept repeating itself. I heard the exhaustion in your voice when you prayed the same prayer again and again without seeing immediate answers. And even when your faith became weak, even when you struggled to trust me fully, I never became angry with you. I understood the weight you were carrying. You believed the delay meant rejection because your heart became tired of waiting. The enemy whispered lies into your mind saying, if God cared, things would have changed already, but those whispers were never the truth. The truth is that I was protecting your future while you were surviving your present. There were blessings prepared for you that could not be released too early because the timing surrounding them mattered more than you realized. Had I opened certain doors sooner, the wrong people would have entered with them. Had I released certain opportunities before your spirit was strengthened, the pressure attached to them would have crushed you instead of blessing you. I know the full picture of your life, my child. I can see what you cannot see. I understand what your current pain is connected to, and I refuse to allow temporary emotions to destroy the future I prepared for you before you were even born. Do you remember those moments where everything suddenly fell apart without explanation? The relationships that changed unexpectedly. The opportunities that disappeared right when you thought things were improving. The plans that failed even after you prayed so hard over them. You thought those losses meant I was against you, but many of those closed doors were actually my protection surrounding your life. There were people smiling in your face while secretly carrying intentions that would have damaged your destiny. There were paths you desperately wanted that would have eventually led you into heartbreak deeper than the pain you were already carrying. I saw dangers ahead that you could not see from where you stood. So I closed doors that frustrated you because I love you too much to let destruction enter your future disguised as opportunity. My precious child, there is something you must never forget again. Silence does not mean absence. Just because you could not hear me clearly does not mean I stopped working. Seeds grow in hidden places before they ever break through the surface. Rain falls beneath the soil before fruit begins to appear. In the same way, I was building things underneath the surface of your life while you believed nothing was happening. I was strengthening your spirit quietly. I was teaching you endurance. I was teaching you how to survive seasons where feelings could not be trusted. I was teaching you how to seek me even when circumstances looked hopeless. And although those lessons felt painful, they created a strength inside you that could not have been formed any other way. There were days when you questioned your own worth because repeated disappointment made you feel forgotten. You compared your journey to others and secretly wondered if something was wrong with you. But my child, you were never forgotten. Not once. I counted every tear that rolled down your face. I stayed close to you during every emotional breakdown. Even when nobody else noticed your silent suffering, I noticed it immediately. I saw the heaviness in your chest when anxiety tried to suffocate your peace. I saw you forcing yourself to keep going while secretly feeling emotionally exhausted. I watched you carry burdens that became too heavy for your heart, yet you still woke up every day trying to move forward. And every moment you continued despite the pain. Heaven saw your endurance. Please support our channel. Our work is to bring happiness in your life and devotion to God. And if you want, you can donate to us. Given link in description or pinned comment to show your support. The enemy wanted your waiting season to destroy your confidence completely. He wanted you to believe your life would never change. He wanted fear to become permanent inside your mind. There were moments where he whispered that your best days were already behind you. He tried to convince you that hope was dangerous because disappointment always followed it. But I kept protecting the small flame of faith still burning inside you. Even when you felt weak, there was still a part of you that continued searching for me. There was still a part of you that refused to fully surrender to darkness. And because you kept holding on, even in weakness, I continued preparing breakthrough behind the scenes. My beloved child, I know you became tired of hearing people tell you to just wait. Waiting is painful when your heart is desperate for relief. Waiting feels unbearable when bills continue piling up, when relationships continue hurting, when loneliness continues growing, when prayers seem unanswered day after day. I never ignored the emotional weight of your waiting season. I saw how deeply it affected you. I saw the fear you carried about your future. I saw how many times disappointment made you afraid to dream again. But what you called delay, heaven called preparation. There were parts of your character that needed healing before the next season could safely enter your life. There were wounds hidden inside you that had to be confronted. There were habits, fears, insecurities, and emotional chains that needed to break before the blessing could arrive fully. If I had released everything too early, you would have entered your new season carrying old pain that would eventually sabotage what I was trying to build in your life. So instead of abandoning you, I stayed close and continued shaping you quietly. You must understand this deeply now. I never withheld blessing because I wanted to hurt you. I withheld certain things because I loved you enough to wait for the right moment. My timing is never cruel. My timing is protective. I knew exactly when your spirit would be strong enough to carry what I prepared for you. I knew exactly when certain doors would no longer destroy your peace. I knew exactly when the people connected to your future would finally align correctly. Nothing in your life has been random, my child. Even the painful seasons carried hidden purpose that you will soon begin to understand more clearly. And now, after all the tears, after all the lonely nights, after all the confusion and emotional exhaustion, you are finally approaching the moment where the hidden work begins revealing itself openly. A season that looked empty was actually full of unseen movement. The silence that frustrated you was filled with preparation. The waiting that nearly broke your heart was shaping a future greater than you can currently imagine. So do not look back at your painful season and call yourself abandoned. Do not label yourself forgotten simply because the answers took time. I was with you in every moment. I held your life together when you were too exhausted to hold yourself together. I protected your future while you questioned your present. I carried you through nights you thought would destroy you. And now, my child, the hidden season is ending. What was sealed in my hands is beginning to open. What was delayed is beginning to move. And very soon, you will understand why I never allowed you to quit during the hardest chapter of your life. My beloved child, when you were crying over what was not happening, I was quietly preparing what was coming. While you felt forgotten by the world, heaven was intensely focused on your future. You thought your life had become stagnant because nothing visible seemed to move. But the greatest works I perform often begin in hidden places. Before mountains rise above the earth, they are formed beneath the surface. Before a child enters the world, growth happens silently inside the womb. In the same way, I was building something inside you during this painful season that could never have been formed through comfort alone. I know there were moments when you questioned your own strength. There were mornings where getting out of bed felt emotionally exhausting. You carried invisible battles that nobody around you fully understood. You smiled through pain because you became tired of explaining your wounds to people who could not truly hear your heart. But I heard everything, my child. I watched every silent battle taking place inside your mind. I saw the nights where fear tried to consume your peace completely. I saw the moments where anxiety wrapped itself around your thoughts and whispered that your future would never change. Yet even in those moments where you felt weak, I was strengthening something inside you that the enemy could not destroy. You believed the waiting season was empty because you could not physically see progress, but spiritual growth was happening every single day. I was teaching you how to survive without depending on temporary things. I was teaching you how to trust me when emotions could not be trusted. I was teaching you how to keep moving forward even when circumstances looked hopeless. Those lessons felt painful because growth often happens in uncomfortable places. But had I not allowed those seasons to shape you, you would not be prepared for what is coming next. There were parts of your heart that still carried fear from old disappointments. There were wounds from betrayal that secretly controlled your decisions. There were insecurities hidden deep inside you that needed healing before your next season could fully begin. You asked me to bless you, but you did not realize how much healing your spirit still needed first. I could not release certain things into your life while old pain still ruled your emotions. I love you too much to place new blessings into hands still trembling from past heartbreak. So while you waited, I worked on the hidden places inside your soul. My child, there were also spiritual battles happening around you that you never fully saw. The enemy understood that your future carried purpose, so he tried to destroy your faith before you ever stepped into your next season. He attacked your confidence repeatedly. He used delay to make you question your worth. He used disappointment to make you feel abandoned. He sent confusion into your thoughts, hoping you would become emotionally exhausted enough to quit completely. There were nights where darkness surrounded your mind so heavily that you felt like giving up on everything. But even then, my hand remained over your life. You have no idea how many attacks I blocked while you slept. You do not fully know how many disasters I prevented from entering your future. There were conversations happening behind your back that I silenced. There were traps prepared against you that I never allowed to reach you. There were opportunities that looked beautiful on the outside but carried destruction hidden within them, and I protected you by removing them before they could damage your destiny. You cried over losses that were actually acts of my mercy. You mourned doors closing that would have eventually broken your heart beyond what you could bear. I was not punishing you when I said no. I was preserving you. My beloved child, preparation seasons are lonely because they separate you from things that can no longer go where I am taking you. I know you felt isolated at times. People changed around you. Certain relationships became distant. Some people stopped understanding you completely. You wondered why connections that once felt strong suddenly became uncomfortable or confusing. But separation is often necessary before elevation. Not everyone assigned to your past can enter your future. Some people were only temporary chapters in your story, and although losing them hurt deeply, their absence created room for what I am now preparing to bring into your life. You also became frustrated with yourself during this season because progress felt slower than expected. You wanted instant answers. You wanted immediate relief. You wanted visible proof that your prayers were working. But faith grows strongest in hidden seasons. Anyone can trust me when life feels easy. Anyone can worship when prayers are answered immediately. But you continued seeking me even while carrying disappointment. You continued praying even while secretly exhausted. You continued surviving even after life became heavier than expected. And heaven noticed every moment you refused to completely surrender to hopelessness. Type Amen. Your grace sustains me if you live by His mercy every day. There were times where you thought you had failed me because fear kept returning to your mind. But fear returning does not mean faith disappeared. Strength is not pretending pain does not exist. Strength is continuing to stand even while your heart trembles. And my child, you stood through storms that should have destroyed you completely. The reason you survived was not because you were strong by yourself. You survived because I carried you when your own strength disappeared. Do you remember those moments where peace suddenly entered your heart without explanation? Those moments where you felt comfort even while circumstances remained difficult? That was me reminding your spirit that you were never alone. I never stopped surrounding you with my presence. Even when you doubted yourself, I never doubted the future I placed inside you. Even when you became tired of waiting, heaven never forgot your name. Even when you secretly wondered if your best days were gone forever, I was already arranging restoration behind the scenes. My precious child, I was not only preparing blessings for you, I was preparing you for the blessings. There is a difference. Many people ask for increase but are emotionally unprepared to handle it. Many people ask for open doors but still carry mindsets shaped by fear and insecurity. I refuse to let your next season destroy you simply because your spirit was not healed enough to sustain it. So I slowed certain things down long enough for your character to mature. I allowed hidden seasons to strengthen your discernment. I taught you lessons through loneliness that success alone could never teach you. And now, because of everything you survived, there is a wisdom inside you that did not exist before. You no longer trust people so quickly. You no longer chase temporary things the same way. You no longer depend on human approval to feel valuable. Pain changed your perspective, but my presence preserved your heart from becoming completely bitter. That is why the enemy failed. He wanted suffering to harden you permanently, but instead, it pushed you closer toward me. My beloved child, I know the hidden season felt unfair at times. I know there were moments where you begged me to speed things up. But now you are standing at the edge of understanding why the process mattered. Had I answered certain prayers too early, you would have entered rooms without discernment. And I released everything immediately. You would have trusted people who secretly carried wrong intentions. Had I rushed your blessing, your emotional wounds would have turned your breakthrough into another burden. So I waited until your spirit became stronger. And now the preparation season is ending. The hidden growth inside you is about to become visible openly. The endurance you developed through pain is about to carry you into doors you once believed were impossible. The wisdom formed through disappointment is about to protect your future. Nothing you suffered was wasted, my child. Every lonely night, every unanswered question, every painful delay was shaping you for this next chapter. You thought heaven was silent, but heaven was building. You thought nothing was happening, but your future was being protected carefully. You thought you were stuck, but you were actually being prepared. And now, after all the hidden work, after all the tears and refining, the season you have prayed for is finally beginning to move toward you. My beloved child, listen carefully because the atmosphere around your life is changing right now. What you have prayed for through tears, what you carried in silence, what you almost stopped believing for completely, it is no longer far away. The shift has already begun. You may not fully see it yet with your physical eyes, but your spirit has sensed it. That restless feeling in your chest, that sudden awakening inside your heart, that strange mixture of peace and expectation you cannot explain. It is happening because heaven has started moving concerning your life. For a long time, you lived under pressure that exhausted your soul. Every day felt like survival. Every morning you woke up carrying emotional heaviness before the day even began. You became so used to disappointment that part of you stopped expecting good news entirely. You learned how to smile while secretly feeling empty inside. You learned how to comfort other people while your own heart quietly cried for relief. But my child, the season of constant emotional exhaustion is ending now. I did not create you to spend your whole life trapped in survival mode. I created you to experience my peace, my restoration, and my goodness in ways that would heal the deepest wounds inside you. I know you became tired of hearing promises that never seemed to happen. You heard people say, "Your breakthrough is coming," but after so much delay, your heart became careful about hope. You stopped allowing yourself to become excited because disappointment hurt too much. Every delay built another wall around your emotions. Every unanswered prayer made you afraid to believe again. But today I am speaking directly into those broken places inside you, and I need you to hear me clearly. This time is different. The waiting season has officially ended. What I held back before was not denied. It was protected. And now the moment has arrived where I am opening my hands over your life. The blessing that was sealed away during your hidden season is beginning to move toward you with power. No person can stop it now. No enemy can delay it now. No fear from your past can cancel what I have already decided to release into your future. When I speak movement over your life, darkness cannot reverse it. My precious child, there are things happening around you right now that you cannot yet fully see. Conversations are taking place that will benefit your future. Hearts are changing concerning you. Doors are beginning to unlock quietly behind the scenes. Situations that looked completely dead are being touched by my hand. You are entering a season where sudden changes will begin happening one after another. Things that remain stuck for years will suddenly start moving quickly. And when it happens, you must not allow fear to talk you out of receiving what you prayed for. You have spent so much time surviving disappointment that breakthrough may initially feel unfamiliar to you. When peace enters your life again, part of you may become afraid that it will disappear. When doors begin opening, part of you may question whether you deserve them. When unexpected blessings begin arriving, you may secretly wonder if they are too good to be true. But my child, stop allowing old pain to define your expectations for the future. The suffering you survived was a season, not your permanent identity. You are not called to live trapped in fear forever. The enemy spent years trying to convince you that struggle would always follow you. He wanted pain to become normal in your mind. He wanted you to expect rejection, disappointment, delay, and heartbreak everywhere you turned. But now I am breaking that agreement over your life. You are entering a new chapter where my goodness will begin speaking louder than your past pain. You are about to witness prayers being answered in ways that restore your confidence in me again. Do not ignore the signs around you now. Pay attention to the sudden peace entering your spirit. Pay attention to the strange hope rising again inside you after such a long period of emotional heaviness. Pay attention to the opportunities beginning to appear unexpectedly. Pay attention to the shifting atmosphere inside your home. These things are not coincidences. They are evidence that movement has begun. My beloved child, your house is about to experience a shift it has not felt in a very long time. The heaviness hanging over your environment is breaking apart. Anxiety will no longer dominate every room. Fear will no longer sit over your thoughts like a dark cloud. My presence is entering your atmosphere with restoration. The stress that stole your peace is losing its power over you. There are family members who will begin changing. There are conversations that will happen suddenly. There are wounds inside your home that I am preparing to heal. What looked impossible for years is becoming possible because my hand is now actively moving through your situation. I know there were moments where you secretly believed your life would never improve. You became tired of trying. You became tired of hoping. You became tired of waiting for something to finally shift. But my child, if only you could see how close you truly are now. The breakthrough you prayed for through tears is no longer distant. The answer you begged heaven for is no longer being delayed. Your release has already started. This is why the enemy that attacked your mind so heavily recently. He understood that if he could exhaust you emotionally before the shift arrived, you might sabotage your own breakthrough through fear and unbelief. He tried to fill your thoughts with confusion. He tried to make you overthink everything. He tried to make you feel emotionally drained enough to stop praying altogether. But despite every attack, you are still here listening to my voice. That alone proves that darkness did not defeat you. My precious child, I need you to prepare yourself now because your next season will move differently from the last one. The hidden season required endurance. The next season will require trust. Doors will begin opening suddenly. Opportunities will appear unexpectedly. Restoration will happen faster than you anticipated. Things you thought were impossible will begin shifting rapidly once my favor starts moving openly through your life. And when it happens, you must not run backward into fear. Do not question your worth when blessings begin arriving. Do not talk yourself out of opportunities because of old insecurities. Do not allow past disappointments to make you suspicious of my goodness. I would not bring you through years of preparation only to abandon you at the moment of breakthrough. Everything you survived was shaping you for this exact season. You are no longer standing at the beginning of the process. You are standing at the turning point. The tears were not wasted. The delay was not punishment. The silence was not abandonment. The waiting was not meaningless. It was all preparation for the exact moment where heaven would finally release what had been sealed in my hands. And now that moment has arrived. Even now, while you listen to these words, surprising news is already moving toward your house. Things are shifting in your favor behind the scenes. People are being positioned. Doors are unlocking. Peace is entering your atmosphere. Restoration is beginning to breathe life into areas that once felt hopeless. The season you cried through is ending, my child. And the season that is coming next will remind you that I never stopped working on your behalf, not even for 1 second. Comment Amen. You're always near if His presence has never left you. And share this video.